A Brussels summit was Gavin Williamsons' first foreign trip as Defense Secretary. One of the new command centers will be aimed at ensuring NATO reinforcements can cross the Atlantic. U.S. Navy via Getty Images. NATO is bolstering its command structures in Europe for the first time since the end of the Cold War amid signs of increasing tensions with Russia. At a meeting in Brussels on Wednesday, defense ministers agreed to create two new command centers, both aimed at upgrading the alliance's ability to respond to a conflict in Europe. One of the two command centers will coordinate troop movements in Europe, while the other will focus on maritime security in the Atlantic, with the aim of ensuring that U.S. forces can cross the ocean so they can get to where they are needed. The alliance also agreed to integrate cybersecurity into all NATO operations for the first time. NATO continues to adapt for the 21st century so that we can keep our people safe in a more challenging world, General Secretary Jens Stoltenberg told reporters in Brussels. Our command structure is the backbone of the alliance. It has evolved through the decades to reflect changing security conditions. And it must continue to evolve to remain robust, agile and fit for purpose. The new command centers bring the number of commands in NATO to a total of 9, up from 7. Their creation represents a reversal of a policy of cutbacks that has been in effect since the 1990s. Mr. Stoltenberg also said he looked forward to working with Gavin Williamson, the UK's new Defence Secretary, who replaced Michael Fallon only in the last week, following allegations of UAL misconduct. The defence chief said he would hold bilateral meetings with the new minister, who was described by ex-British Army Chief Richard Dannett as not being the best outcome from a defence point of view because of his inexperience at the Ministry of Defence. Britain very reliable partner and ally, because Britain is contributing to the alliance in so many different ways, Mr. Stoltenberg said. I welcome the strong commitment of the United Kingdom to NATO and to many different NATO missions and operations. NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg addresses a press conference a day ahead of the NATO defense ministers' meetings at NATO headquarters in Brussels. Getty: We have to remember that the United Kingdom has the second largest defense budget. Next to the United States, no one else invests more in defense than the UK, and the UK is leading one of the battle groups we have deployed in the Baltic countries. They are responsible for our response force, and they are present in Afghanistan. So I look forward to welcoming the new Secretary of Defense to the meeting today, but also to have a bilateral meeting with him tomorrow. So Williamson is a man I look forward to working with, and continue to adapt the alliance together with the United Kingdom. The General Secretary also welcomed the UK's continued commitment to spend more than 2% of its GDP on defence, saying the spending was now rising across Europe after the UK had led by example. More about Jens Stoltenberg. NATO Europe Russia reuse content. We use cookies to enhance your visit to our site and to bring you advertisements that might interest you. Read our privacy and cookie policies to find out more.